guys, it's Drexel back here with another video. Today we are gonna continue with our maze game. So as we remember before, we had our little sprite moving around with a trail. As you can see, the player sprite is a little different now. I switched from red dude to a circle because I just like that a little better. It looks nicer, and I switched the trail to a circle as well. And I decided to keep the rainbow trail and remove the little fading trail back here. So basically just some code cleanup, otherwise nothing important. Again, you can choose to have the built-in player trail, or this trail, or even no trail at all. That would really reduce lag. So today we're going to do collision and level switching. So first, the obvious thing is we need a maze, right? That's the actual fun part, that's the playable part. So go ahead, paint a sprite, and I already have some levels made. They're not very creative, they're just mainly the exact same thing over and over again, but there are differences that are very important. So to differ from, so also you might want to make sure that's centered. So the main difference about these things are, well, you can see here, oh, a little misaligned, I guess I got moved a bit. It's okay, let me just reposition that. Oh. Alright, so the main differences are that, again, we have that 1, 2, 3. That's just a little hint from, that's just my way of showing that, hey, these are different levels. Again, your player could be different size, different shape, different everything. And your maze can be much more creative, much more long, right? With different starting points, alright? So I put the starting point as the same place for all of these, but we're gonna code with different starting points. And for the last one, we have an E. So the S, right? You want to put a green S wherever you want to start. Alright, so those are our starting points. And for these levels, we have a blue N. So we want to use a blue N for next, and a red E for end. So, we're not gonna do the win/lose thing today, but we are gonna get started with some collision, and it's a tiny little cool thing that I feel like looks nice with the trail. So we got our levels. Again, you can make the starting color, next color, and ending color any color you want, but you have to reserve those colors for those exact things only. Now, let's go ahead and get into the code. So we have now done the costumes. Let me just pull it up. So what we're going to do today is we're going to mainly just edit this existing movement block, alright? As you can see right now, if I move, nothing happens, right? I can press the green flag, doesn't make me go anywhere, no starting position, no nothing. So first thing we're going to do is we want to make some custom blocks, alright? But before that, let's make some variables first, alright? So let's just delete this variable. Make a variable. We want to make one level for all sprites, and starter X for the sprite only, and starter Y for the sprite only. Again, the reason that we're doing this for the sprite only is because we wanna in the future we are gonna do some enemies that are gonna be floating around. So for that, we do want to have a starter X and starter Y for this sprite only, and a starter X and starter Y for that sprite. So what we want to do first is we want to have the ability to reposition, alright? So say we're ever touching one of these walls, right? Because this isn't gonna be a game where we're gonna collide with the walls. This is gonna be one of those games where we actually like hit the wall and then go back to the starting point if we touch the wall. And also have a border at the edges. So some of it's not visible, but I do have a border at the edges, which will allow us to make sure that the player cannot go outside and touch the border either. Now, what we're going to do is, again, make that reposition. So we're going to be using this a lot, so let's make a custom block, alright? Just reposition. Alright, and no need to add anything else, just reposition. And all we want to do is just do a simple glide. You can do however many seconds you want. I find 0.3 to be a really nice number. To again starter X and starter Y, which will change per level. Alright, so great, we have the reposition set up, which will help us in the future. And also I just want to fix the values to -7s actually, and 7s, cause the 10 just for the sprite itself, right? You can do it for whatever you want, but I just think that's a little bit too fast for this game. And let's make another define statement where we will be able to choose our level, alright? So what we want to do is make one that says level, alright? An input, we're going to do level, and text starter X, an input of X, and label of starter Y, and an input of Y. Alright, so now we have our own custom block for that as well. So that would really help us with the changing us which level, telling us which level, what the starter X is, and what the starter Y is, instead of having to create multiple if statements. So first of all, we're going to do if we're trying to make sure that our current level is equal to the level that we have selected. Alright, so what we're going to do, so the input. So what we got to do is we got to go to variables, click get level in here, and drag this out. So now we can see if the inputs are matching. If they are, then we're going to set starter X to X and starter Y to Y. Let's just do that. And again, we can drag these inputs out because we made them inputs. And that's actually it. So there we go, we have the main stuff done. Now we're going to modify the movement block. The reason we're going to be modifying the movement block is because, again, collision is very tied together with movement. So we do want to make sure that is all good. And we also want to do some stuff before we start. Alright, so when we start, we want to set our variables up to the correct one. We cannot use a custom block because it kind of glitches out a little bit sometimes and sometimes lag. So I'm just going to do the starting positions that I have found. So that's starter X and starter Y. Again, you have different positions based on your own maze. So now we have the easy work done, and we will now modify our custom block. This is actually not much work, so what we're going to do is we want to get two if statements. So go to control, get two if statements out, put them right underneath all the rest. And first we're going to ask if we are colliding with a wall. So in my maze, this is going to be black. In your maze, it could be whatever. We're also going to be doing secret tunnels later, so that will allow us to basically touch a wall, right? But that could actually be a secret wall that allows you to go through, even though it looks like a normal wall, which will really be fun. So what we could do is if we go to so when we want to first see if we're touching black, right? Again, you can do whatever touch color your wall is. Right, you can use an OR, so we can click on this little thing, it's eyedropper, and find the black. Let's just do 0 because that's actually the real color. Then we want to actually do something about it, so we want to reposition. Alright, so that will reposition us back. And we want to broadcast hit and wait. So this way, if you ever decide to make an animation or something, you could do that. So hit. Alright, So we broadcast hit and wait, and say we get hit, right? We actually might do a thing where the enemies start cheering or something. So we could do something like that. Now, if we want to do another if, alright? This time, if we're touching the color that allows us to go to the next level. So in our case, that is this blue. So get that out. Now we want to broadcast another message called next level and wait, so we can make sure that we are with the whole game. So now I have gotten this question sometimes pretty often actually. What does the end wait mean? Or like how long exactly are we gonna wait? Because there's no inputs. So that's actually the nice part about this. So maybe you want to broadcast something, but then you don't want to run the remaining scripts until that something is done, right? Because sometimes maybe there's a little lag, and you want to make sure that whole thing's completely finished, or maybe it takes a long time to do that script that is receiving that um, broadcast. So and you want to make sure that you're not doing things side by side. You can do an and wait, right? That will temporarily pause the script actually until the script that is running, any and all scripts that are running this broadcast are done. So that really will help us make sure that we are staying with the rest of the level. And now we also want to change our level by 1, because that means we have gone to the next level. So change our level by 1. And then what we can do is go ahead and put in our levels. So far I have 3. So I'll put those in. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. Again, we do have to repeat the 1 because we wanna, again, this is constantly running. So if it's not level 2 or 3, then it has to be 1. But it's just easier to do this way. So let's put the values in and be right back. Alright, so we have put in our values, so we chose what level we want to set these things for, and the starter X and starter Y for that. So basically, now we got that set up, and we just want to reposition, so that way we actually go to that position if we are touching, to make sure that we don't like actually spam the next level thing, and then that would make us like finish the game in 1 second. And now we also want to go to our maze sprite. Let's just name this maze actually. Oops. And we want to do when green flag clicked and when I receive next level. So we just cleans up that code from there, and we don't have to worry about it much. So when green flag clicked, we want to set our level to 1 to make sure that we're always restarting. And we want to go ahead and go to looks, and we want to switch our costume to level 1, right? And if we ever receive next level, then we'll do the next costume. So that way, we make sure that we're switching levels each time. Let's go ahead and take this to test. So full screen. Let's go through the flag. So, ooh, already we're not starting where we want to start. Ah, yes, I completely forgot about this. We also want to reposition right before we start. So go ahead and right before we start moving, you want to reposition. This is, I think, 78 blocks, I think, right? 78 blocks, and got a nice game already going. So, wow, look at this. If you want, what you could do is that if you don't like the maze being on top, right, like, kind of on top, what you could do is go to maze, go to looks, and just simply go to back layer, click on that, and it's always going to be on the back, like a background. Alright, so we have a nice animation of, look at that. It's a very nice bouncy animation, I actually like it. Let's just go ahead and see if we can go to the next level. I'm actually really bad at this. We went to the next level, and it's level 2, as you can see right here. And we still have, we switched our starting position to this, which I hope is correct. So for starting, for number 2, we did 14 and 111. Here we are, 14 and 111. Alright, let's try this again. Oops, man, this is hard to do. Alright, let's just drag this for time's sake. Alright, and let's see. Congrats, we've made it to the end. And now nothing is gonna happen when we touch E because we haven't coded that yet. And we're gonna code that next time. And that was it for this time. I'll see you next time. Bye.